So I'm going to start by recapping the two methods we've done so far, and you're going to have to just verbally listen to me, okay? So I'm just going to talk about it. The first one was substitution. That's where you substitute something in. Do you remember that? You take like what x equals and substitute it in for x. Yeah, you've already like stopped listening to me. The one we did last time was elimination. Do you remember when we stacked them up and then eliminated one of the columns? Sorta. Okay. The third method is graphing. The cool thing about this is the calculator will do graphs for you, but you do have to actually write them on the paper. Okay, so like even though the calculator will help you, you still have to like do some work. All right. So when you solve by graphing, the solution is what? We've been over that. When you graph them, where's the answer? The intersect. Do you remember when we played bingo last time?
Yeah.
We played bingo. You typed them in, clicked on the intersection. And we've gone over this too. How many solutions does this one have? How many intersections does it have? One solution. If they're parallel and they don't intersect, then good, that is no solution. Good. And the last one looks like one line, but it's two lines directly on top of each other. So they intersect everywhere. So infinite solutions. Or infinitely many solutions. Some people will write IMS for infinitely many solutions. Like sometimes you'll see that too. But anyway, infinite because the two lines are right on top of each other. All right, so verify that the points below are solutions of the system. So what we're going to do is type it in, and all I need you to do is watch. I am not trying to bore you to tears, but you do have to know how to type these things. So just look, 2x minus y equals 7, and then the other one is 5x plus 1/3 y equals 9. I'm going to click on the intersection. Is that what it says on your paper? 2, -3. Yes. So that one's yes, it is. Yes. So now we're going to do the other one. 3x minus 4y equals 4. So let me share the screen. And I can kind of just change what's written in here. It was 3x, was it plus or minus? Minus 4y equals 4. And then we've got 2x. Again, I'm not trying to bore you to tears, but you have to know how to type these. It was minus 4y equals 6. So I'm going to click on the intersection. I got 2, -2.5. So is that what it says for the answer? 2, -2.5. No, -0.5 is -0.5, not -2.5. So that one is no. So you got to be careful with your fractions. All right, now these ones we're going to graph ourselves. All right. Now they are in y equals mx plus b form. So what is the slope of this first line? 2 is the slope. Good. And then what's the y-intercept? Okay, that's literally how easy that is. So like work with me. That means you're going to start at -1. That's going to be right here. And this is exactly what your Desmos is like, except instead of on a piece of paper, you click on the grid. It's easy as pie. Okay, just you got to listen to me. And then your slope of 2, from that point, you're going to go what directions to do a slope of 2? Up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. How many points have I always told you to plot? Yeah, all of them. The reason why I've always said that is for this topic right here. If you have to find the intersection, the line needs to be perfect because otherwise you're going to be off by a little bit and you won't find the intersection. So you got to plot all of them. It's not that hard. Okay. Then do the other line. Oh, and if you weren't sure about that or you wanted to check it, all you would have to do is in Desmos type y equals 2x minus 1 and it'll show up. Okay. I'm not going to type that because I believe you can do that. All right, what's your slope for the second one? That's a little tricky because the number is kind of not written in. Yeah, good. Do you guys understand that there's a -1 there? Okay, thank you for heads nodding. -1, your y-intercept is 5. Again, this is exactly what your Desmos is, except instead of drawing it on a piece of paper, you're going to click points on a grid. You're going to start at 5. And then how do you do a slope of -1? Yep, down 1 over 1. And just keep going for a little ways. As long as you find the intersection though, you're good. That's really the whole point, is to get that intersection point. And so you basically just look at it and go, oh, here's the answer. This is our answer, that point right there. So what is that point? 2, 3. And again, and I'm not trying to put you all to sleep, so I'm not going to make you watch me type it, but do you understand that if you typed this into Desmos and clicked on the intersection, it would give you the answer? Like it will literally do it for you.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so everyone should get that right on the test. Okay, now let's try one more. What is the slope for this line? There's not even an 8 in the problem. 3/2. And your y-intercept is 2. So again, you could type it into Desmos, but I feel like you should know this. You can do it faster, honestly, without the calculator. You're going to start at 2. And then to do a slope of 3/2, someone who's not you. What does that mean you're going to do? Up, down, left, right. To do a slope of 3/2. Yep, up 3, right 2. Up 3/2. And just keep the pattern going. You can also go down 3, left 2. Like, I mean, if you can count to 3 and count to 2, you can do it. I just sort of believe in you. You guys have common sense. Just, you know, keep the pattern going. The reason you need to keep it going is you don't know where the intersection is going to be. So your line needs to be perfect or it won't intersect, right? Do you get what I'm saying? Like if the line's off by a little bit, you won't see where they meet up. All right, and then for this one, what's your slope? -3/2, -3/2, and your y-intercept is -4. Good. It's just those numbers. It's y equals mx plus b format, so you know it's good. Start at -4. So your y-intercept tells you where to start. And then using words like up, down, left, right, what would your slope of -3/2 tell you to do? Down 3/2. And the line should be decreasing because it's negative. So down 3/2. And then go the other direction a little bit as well. And they make like an exact X, and that's because one of them was +3/2 and one of them was -3/2. And then basically you just write the answer. It's your intersection point. So what are the coordinates of that place where they intersect? -2, -1. And if you felt like you weren't sure about that, or you thought you were going to get it backwards, what do I keep on saying to do? Type it in Desmos, click on the intersection. It will literally do it for you. All right, so go ahead and flip over. We're going to try that again. So what is the slope for this one? -1 is what's in front of the X. Now, if there's nothing written there, it's plus nothing. So your y-intercept is 0. 0 is a number. It's not like there isn't one. It's just 0. So where would I put the point on the graph then if it's 0? Yep, at the thing, at the origin. So like right in the middle, 0, 0. I know that's hard to see because it's right in the middle, but 0, 0. And then your slope is -1. So you would go down 1/1, down 1/1. If you can count to 1, you can do it. So again, the calculator will do these for you. If you typed that into Desmos, it would be there. You just have to copy it onto the paper. So you have to actually draw the graph. But I'm always going to give you a grid, so you'll have a grid. All right, and then the other one. Slope is -1, but your y-intercept is different this time. Your y-intercept is 3. But before I draw this, if they have the same slope, what does that mean? They are parallel. Okay, so that's what we're expecting it to look like. So for this one, you're going to start at 3. That's right here. Go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then go down 1/1, down 1/1. And you will see that they are parallel. And I heard somebody say it already, but that means our answer to the whole thing good is no solution because they don't intersect. You just don't get an answer because they're parallel. Now we're gonna see who remembers our Hoi Vux. Remember the Quizlet that I drilled you on? Maybe we should do that again as a warm-up next time. All right. If this is y equals, what kind of a line is that? Good, perfect, horizontal. And so the slope is, good. Oh my gosh, good, you guys got it. And the y-intercept is 4. It's just gonna be whatever that number is. So y equals 4. So what you're gonna do is count up to 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, put a point, and then just draw a horizontal line through that. Extension question, if it was x equals, it would be vertical. There would not be a y-intercept. That would just be none or NA or frowny face. All right, you'd have a vertical line. All right, so for this one, the next one, what's your slope? 0, good. And your y-intercept is -1. So you're going to get the same looking thing, a horizontal line at -1. Gosh, that went so well. You guys remember your horizontal and vertical lines. I'm so happy. This class has been killing it in notes recently. You guys have like got this. All right. And anyway, what's the answer to the whole thing then? Again, it's no solution because they're parallel. They both have a slope of 0. So that was your quick review of horizontal lines. Vertical would be the other one. All right, so let's look at number 7, last one of these. What's your slope for this one? 1/2. And then your y-intercept, -3. So you're going to start at -3, go down 3 and put a point. So right there. And then can anyone using words like up, down, left, and right? Yes, it was. Can anyone tell me what we're going to do for a slope of 1/2? Yep, good. Up 1, right 2. And then just keep going up 1, right 2. Because I don't know where the intersection is going to be. So your line needs to be perfect. Now for this last one, you could just type it into Desmos, but I want to show you how you can check it or do it by hand. If you had trouble reading the graph on Desmos, you know how sometimes you go in there and you can't find a pretty point? Okay. The other thing you can do is just solve it for y, like get it into y equals mx plus b format. How do you undo a +6? Minus, good, perfect. -6. So you'd have 2y equals x minus 6. We just moved the 6 to the other side. And then how do you undo multiplying by 2? And you have to divide everything by 2. So divide 2, divide 2, divide 2 to cancel those out. Again, you could just type it in Desmos. I'm just trying to show you how to do it by hand. Have you ever typed something in Desmos and you just can't find a pretty point? You zoom out and you zoom in and you can't find it. Like you can always do it by hand as well. So this would be y equals, now what's really in front of this x here? A 1. So it's, stop talking over me. It's 1/2 x minus, and then we got to do 6 divided by 2, which is 3. Good. So what is your slope? 1/2. Good. And your y-intercept? Oh my gosh, we already graphed that line. It's the same line. So you have 2 lines right on top of each other. And so what's your answer to the whole thing? Infinite. Good. They intersect literally everywhere. Infinite solution. Now these last 2 are kind of extension questions. Can a system of equations, remember how we've been pushing vocabulary? A system just means 2 or more equations. So what we've been doing. Can there ever be 2 answers? What do you think? I'm asking you to use your brain. Do you think you could get exactly 2 answers?
Yes.
Out of lines. They have to be lines. So you can get one answer like that. There is no way to get two answers. Because the lines don't what? Why is it no? You can't because, well, because they don't, because a line is what? Yeah, it's straight, right? It doesn't bend. Lines do not bend. So you can't curve around and get that second solution. They go straight, they go on forever. So they can intersect once, they're never gonna curve. Like it's never gonna turn and give you another answer. And then the last one here, does this system over here have a solution, yes or no? Like, will there be an intersection? At some point, they are not parallel. Do you see how if this continued on and this continued on, they would eventually intersect over there? So will it have an answer? Yes, they are not parallel. You only get no solution if they're parallel. So it might go off the grid, but they're going to intersect at some point.